Just as a general philosophy in our winemaking, it's to be hands-off. I know that's an overused term, but I feel like our tendency to lower alcohol wines, a more European style, more acidity-driven wines, it's not out of us wanting to be in a specific genre, but more out of our need to want to make wine naturally. To do that without having to manipulate with deacidifying, acidifying, adding yeast, adding nitrogen, you know, having a lot of new oak, anything like that to kind of cover up certain things. In Chardonnay, to be specific, we just don't want to over butter it and over oak it, which tends to be the California style. Whether you like it or not, it sells a lot of gallons, and so kudos to them, right? They deserve their success. But it's not something I like to drink, so it's definitely not something we're going to try to make. Heimhoff came to moderate it, or my specific panel, which was fantastic. We had some great winemakers out there, and I think really Chardonnay is a great wine for discussion, seeing that it's so versatile, and everybody has their own philosophy, their own way of making this wine. It's a very neutral grape when it comes to the winery, and then the winemaker tends to put his fingerprint on these wines, which is quite... I mean, we had 2 hours to discuss that. At first I thought that was going to be very long. At the end of the 2 hours, we could have gone on for 8 hours and still not got to a point where we make any sense.
You added a really nice spice
to
the mix last year.
We're going to speak about Chardonnay again, and I think the versatility obviously plays a lot to it. And I think in Chardonnay, more than in any wine, you can normally tell a winemaker's personality, being a little bit more on the edge, being a little bit more introvert. You'll be able to tell wines like Chardonnay. Definitely something we'll mention in that topic as well.
From the out of the tank yesterday, they've had the luxury of 24 hours to bottle age, so you guys need to respect that.
So there's only one Presqu'le Chardonnay?
Correct, only one. It's the Santa Maria Valley blend. We planted about 65 acres of our own grapes, and so once that Chardonnay comes into production, we will have an estate-produced Chardonnay.
What do your, you go through the three-tiered system? What do your distributors tell you about the market out there? Are there any discussions about steel Chardonnay?
I don't think they separate Chardonnay steel versus oak. Like I said, I think the whole steel debate is more of an educated drinker's debate for sommeliers, whereas the people that just drink wine to get it done, you know. I can't say there's a right and a wrong. Like you said, it's not a versus. This is a market-oriented wine, definitely. The States drink the most wine in the world, not per capita, but you know, as a whole by volume. And Chardonnay being your favorite white wine, I think Chardonnay fights, or Chardonnay has that same problem with oak as Champagne has with celebration. Champagne isn't always necessarily to be drunk with New Year's or a birthday party. It's drunk every day, all day. But yeah, and also there's just these new innovations that we're trying to do here. The Chardonnay Symposium being a great example, the second one coming up here pretty soon. I think that's wonderful for the valley to try and you know, promote itself with things like that. I think the wines are completely up to standard. I mean, if not better than most. To put in conversations like this, bring out great winemakers and invite the public to come and see what we have and what we have to offer, our philosophies on our wine. I think it's fantastic, and it only shows to the potential growth that's going to come in many years, for many years I should say.
Something in the way